right here. One Sunday morning, I fractured my rib during an obstacle course race. I was on mile 3 of an 8-mile Spartan race and attempting an obstacle called the box, which is pretty much what it sounds like. It's an 8-foot-high wall with rounded edges and a rope tethered over the side. Your objective is to get up and over. Now, I've done this obstacle a dozen times, so I never saw it coming. But as I was twisting one way and pulling another, it popped. The pain was so intense I blacked out. I don't remember waving off the volunteer or starting down the path of the penalty loop. Every step was excruciating. I suffered through obstacles, climbing over walls, under barbed wire, carrying heavy objects. I relentlessly kept moving forward, through the fire, and finished the race. Now, I am not an elite athlete. I wasn't going to win. My race results were of zero importance to anyone else in the world, and even I could have forgave myself for such a severe injury. But here's the part of the story I didn't tell you. This was the first time that I raced with the words, "Fuck cancer," written across my chest. A few of my friends had recently been diagnosed, and I just wanted to let them know that they weren't alone. Our experiences with cancer can be so different, but I know what it feels like. I know how alone it feels to hear those words, "You have cancer," for the first time. The first time I was diagnosed, I was scared. I vividly remember taking the call and hearing those words from my doctor for the first time, "You have cancer." Now, having not yet been touched by cancer, all I knew was chemo and death. So hearing those words was scary, but saying them was even harder. I have cancer. I called a few of my friends on the way home that night, but I didn't want to talk about it. I just felt so alone. And I found myself that night standing in my bathroom in my apartment, staring into the mirror. And I didn't like what I saw. Because staring back at me was this scared little kid, weeping, puffy eyes, red cheeks, this helpless victim begging to God, "Why me?" And I didn't like what I saw. I stared back, I don't know how long before I said something, until finally I said, "I am nobody's victim." And I said it again, louder and louder each time, "I am nobody's victim," until I was screaming that I am nobody's victim. And at the top of my lungs, I am yelling, "If you want this, come and get this. Come and take this from me." Within hours of hearing that initial diagnosis and being a scared little kid, suddenly I became defiant. And it was me versus cancer, and I was going to pick a fight. And that's how I have lived the last 2 decades. And that's how I race every race now. And I am cheered and greeted throughout the races. Well, not so much me, but the cause. People tell me about their stories of triumph, and they share with me memories of their loved ones lost. So I just can't go quitting things in the fight versus cancer. And I remind myself often out loud, it's not for me, it's for them, and we need to keep moving forward. And it's not for me, it's for all those hearing those words, "You have cancer," for the first time. It's for her sister, his wife. It's for her father. It's for his 3-year-old niece who won't live to see her 4th birthday. And it's for my friend Neil. So not for those, not for me, but for all those going through it. All those who are touched by it. And all those we've lost along the way. And that's why we're here tonight, to support the Hope Lodge, because no one should be made to feel alone in the fight versus cancer. The Hope Lodge offers respite and encouragement for those who must keep running this race. The Hope Lodge removes obstacles such as hotel fees, and unreliable transportation so that people may receive life-saving medical care. The Hope Lodge provides a supportive community of people who have gone through it, because nobody should be made to feel alone in the fight versus cancer. Tonight at the ABOA, a group of young professionals have invited you here to celebrate the Kentucky Derby, but more than that, they have invited you here to support their cause, the Hope Lodge. Because hope is a light, and with your help, we can keep the lights on at the Hope Lodge with your donation tonight. Thank you.